Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a really exciting Genshin Impact tournament coming up. This is gonna be the showdown between Nahida. This is gonna be the Nahida patch where both team is gonna be able to use Nahida for free without going through the pick or ban phase. So we're gonna see really interesting Nahida comp coming up. But anyway, let's get started into the tournament. As always, don't forget to check out the original creator on Bilibili who put a tons of effort into these videos. Please go support the original channel. They will appreciate you a lot, which is why these videos continue to exist. Please come to the video and at least hit a like or something like that. So there's a little bit of rule change in this tournament to kind of nerf the characters a little bit to make it a little bit more balanced, including the limitation on the Abyss card that you can use, as well as your artifact, just to make sure the team are not getting like super good RNG and just bursting the chamber down. But anyway, let's start by talking about the rules, as always, just in case you're not familiar with how the tournament works. Basically, both teams go through the pick or ban phase to select their team comp for the Abyss, and they go through each chamber to see who does it faster in total. However, the current features characters, in this case Nahida, is going to be available for both teams, and they are required to select it at least one within the 3 chambers just to bring it more interesting. Now, of course, there's going to be some limitation on their weapon and artifact. They're only allowed to use one 5-star weapon across all their entire team, and for their artifact, they're only allowed 16 level 20 artifact. Level 20, but they can bring level 0 artifact otherwise. For 5-star, they're limited to Constellation 2, and for 4 stars, they are allowed to be Constellation 6. With the exception of Travelers, because Traveler is a special exception, so Traveler are allowed to bring another 5-star weapon as well as any artifact that they want. So let's see how this goes. As Nahida is going to be the features characters for this tournament, there's going to be insane amount of team comp that we're going to see, because Nahida fit into any Danjo team comp. Not to mention Danjo team comp are like the brand new hardest team comp. Keep in mind that for the past tournament, even though Danjo was available, it was not really a priority by either team, since Danjo was just not strong enough compared to the traditional existing team. But let's see if Nahida changes how the pick or ban will go. I think this will be one of the most interesting pick or ban coming into this tournament, so let's see how this goes. Oh, he bought the Hu Tao Feng, and the winner will get some prizes. The code from the Hu Tao Feng. Anyway, let's get started into the pick or ban phase. Let's see who's the first ban. First ban with Shanha. Okay, really interesting, as crowd doesn't react with Danjo anyhow. So Shanha being the first ban is really interesting. Yelan being the first ban by Team Aether. Okay, banning a traditional Hydro option. Not too surprising, Yelan is really strong, especially at Constellation 2. Raiden being the second ban by Team Lumi. Again, Constellation 2 Raiden is really strong. But also, potentially ban away the full EM Raiden. Ban it as a Pyro Bennett here. Bennett is just really ridiculously strong. Being banned out here makes sense by Team Aether. Let's see who does Team Lumi go for. Kaza gonna be the third ban by Team Lumi. Lilo is still available here, and because Lilo can draft triple Hydro rather than double Danjo, Team Aether could potentially ban out Lilo here rather than trying to ban Danjo. But let's see, Team Aether is kind of thinking of what their last ban should be. They're struggling a little bit to display because there's so many good characters available right now that can be paired with Nahida. Yep, Lilo is gonna be the final ban here by Team Aether. I think it kind of makes sense rather than banning Danjo out. Lilo is kind of strong in the current Abyss, as the current Abyss is kind of tailored toward made Lilo with pre-gripped enemy up. Zhongli first pick by Team Lumi. Okay, that's an interesting choice. I think a first pick, we do see Zhongli quite commonly in the tournament, but a first pick Zhongli I don't think John Lee is that high priority for a first pick. But okay, let's see. Venti being first picked by Team Aether, okay. Potentially a Ganyu here, potentially a Ayaka here are available. Yep, Ayaka is gonna be picked up by Team Aether to draft the cryo option. Okay. So that's probably gonna be one of the options. Okay, Ganyu immediately picked up by Team Lumi. Both team is trying to draft these cryo team. Xiangling being picked up by Team Lumi, potentially for a Mel Ganyu team instead. Mel Ganyu is a pretty staple when it comes down to the tournament. So Xiangling Ganyu being picked up here. Normal. Ito being picked up early by Team Aether, followed by Goro. Interesting choice on Team Aether as Cryo and Jiu doesn't react with Dendro, potentially saving the Nahida for the last chamber. Klee being final picked up by Team Lumi to go with the Xiangling. Pretty typical setup of Mel Ganyu. Sucrose and Mona being the final ban for the both team. Ayado being first picked up in the second phase by Team Aether. Okay, so Ayado, Ayaka both picked up by Team Aether. Kaching and Fischls for the Aggravate team for coming in for Team Lumi. Potentially here with Nahida. Okay, so Ato is looking for some off-field DPS or support here. Lisa being picked up by Team Aether, and then Albedo to complete the Geo setup. Okay. Traveler being picked up by Team Lumi here, and finally Hazel. Potentially a Danjo Travelers here to go with the Aggravate team. Finally, we have a Chongyun being picked up by Team Aether. Another uncommon picked up, but they do need a second cryo for the Ayaka. I mean, I guess there's always Rosaria though, so Chongyun is an interesting pickup. I guess because of the artifact limitation, Chongyun is a little bit more usable without artifact compared to Rosaria, so Chongyun is preferred since Chongyun have is pure support rather than a sub DPS. Yeah, no one picked up Seeing Shields, which is interesting. Anyway, starting off with the Mel Ganyu here for Team Lumi. So it's gonna be the first half of the chamber. Xiangling here with a interesting artifact setup. A support Xiangling rather than damage Xiangling, which is kind of uncommon. Goba, and then gonna do Ganyu charge attack. Able to do melt attack on most enemy, if not all the enemy, it looked like. Unfortunately, a little slow on the first wave, I think. Only Elemental Burst coming in, okay, to kind of just do the grouping a little bit. Almost down here again. Ganyu Elemental Burst for AoE damage, and then gonna go Xiangling Elemental Burst here. Back to Ganyu. Hopefully able to take it away within this cycles. Pretty close onto these enemy. Okay, 37 seconds, not too bad. Okay, I think it's okay, yeah. Coming into the Team Aether with their Ayaka setup, gonna be running Chongyun, Venti, Ayado as a Hydro Applicator with Echo actually. So Ayado here is actually gonna be a damage dealer with elemental skills, and finally Ayaka. So potentially a sub DPS Ayaka and a on-field DPS Ayado instead. I'm gonna cast Chongyun Elemental Skill for CD, RDR, Anti Elemental Skill and Burst. Ayado Elemental Burst, apply Hydros. Chongyun freeze enemy. Gonna ignore the Ayaka. Okay, able to take away the first wave very easily with just using Ayato Elemental Skills. Gonna recast Venti Elemental Skill and Burst to group the enemy up and freeze the enemy. Okay, coming into Ayaka Elemental Burst. Okay, see to Ayaka here taking away the enemy very easily. Finally into Ayato. 25 seconds. Wow, that's a big difference between the two teams. Finally, we have the Aggravate team here, as we expect, with Kaching, Fischls, Hazel as the Anemo TDDS users, and then, of course, the Danjo Travelers here for Aggravate. A Constellation-free Danjo Traveler, actually, rather than Constellation 6 Reach. Anyway, let's come in and see how it goes. Starting off with the applying Electro with Kaching and then doing Hazel to Swirl for V and TDDS. Ooh! Able to set up really easily here with the Dendro Elemental skill and burst. Back to Kaching. Able to do AoE damage onto all 3 enemy very easily. If you will take away the first wave here very easily. Okay, coming into the second wave. Hazel Elemental Burst is available as a mini suction. I'm not gonna use Hazel Elemental Burst actually. Dendro's set up first. Visuals gonna use Hazel now. Actually, not even gonna cast Hazel Elemental Burst for grouping. I guess the enemy grouped it enough anyway. Kaching Elemental Burst coming in and bunch of damage throughout her charge attack. 38 seconds before they have a chance to summon the crocodile. Very nice. Coming into Ito again. We have been seeing Ito a lot recently in the tournament. Again, this is with C6 Goro, C2 Ito, and unfortunately no constellation on the Albedo, but Albedo constellation is fake anyway, and then Lisa. Once again, this is what we talked about. The Lisa Ito setup is kind of actually common in the tournament. Okay, gonna cast Goro Elemental Skills, Ito's Elemental Burst, and again, of course, we do have the Lisa defense thread here. Unfortunately, not able to perfectly group the enemy, but Ito is able to do a bunch of AoE damage anyway. Able to take away the first wave very fast. Let's see how they go with the second wave. Of course, keep in mind that they don't have a grouper. Goro coming in, Elemental Burst. Ito coming into the second wave here, doing a bunch of AoE damage. Potentially able to take away one of the enemy right here. Okay, coming to the second enemy, so Ushi available. 29 seconds actually. Leading by a lot compared to Team Lumi. Okay, but let's see how does the second chamber go. Coming to this rune chamber, gonna start with Bonbon Zalan applying Pyro and typical Melkanye setup, Elemental Burst. Gonna cast Zhongli Elemental Burst actually. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the greatest effect, doesn't do a lot of damage, and I think the enemy weren't even grouped up. I think that Zhongli Elemental Burst was a DPS loss. But anyway, coming into the Ganyu setup, doing charge attack on majority of the enemy, able to knock the enemy down with the weak spot anyway, so taking away all the enemy in just 29 seconds, not too bad. But let's see how the Team Aether respawn. Changing Elemental Skills, Idol Elemental Skills. Not gonna Swirl the Hydro. Actually gonna end Idol Elemental Skill early to switch to Venti to Swirl the Hydros. Coming into here, pausing the map a little bit for energy cache, and then gonna use Aka Elemental Burst within all the enemy to hit a bunch of damage. And then Ayato Elemental Skill again, 21 seconds. Team Aether still in a very good lead. But we do have the Magu Genki chamber here, so let's see how this goes. Again, setting up the Elemental Skill and Burst just before the Magu Genki setup. Chain Elemental Skill and Burst. Okay, doing a bunch of damage. I'm gonna knock into the second phase of the Magu Genki very quickly. Oh, okay. Gonna normal attack on Officials. Interesting. Okay, gonna wait for the Magu Genki to draw back. Drop Danger Travelers, Elemental Skill and Burst, Heizo Elemental Skill for VV Shred, TDDS. Moving on to the Kaching, Elemental Burst, and Elemental Skill, doing a bunch of charge attack damage. Hopefully the Magu Genki doesn't move again since it is against the wall, which is a pretty common method dealing with against the Magu Genki. Should be able to take it away with this Elemental Burst right here. Spending 44 seconds on the Magu Genki. Not too bad, but let's see how the Team Aether respawn with the Ito. Keep in mind, both teams still have Nahida available for the final draft phase. Albedo setup, Ishii setup, Goro setup, and then into Ito Elemental Burst, and doing all the charge attack. Let's see. Okay, gonna hit a very quick headshot on the Goro to generate energy on Fav. Reset up their things with Albedo Elemental Skills. Gonna move backward, Goro Elemental Burst. Unfortunately, out of the Albedo Elemental Skill range, right? Nope, still in the Albedo Elemental Skill range. Lisa TDDS here, as well as Defense Threat with the Elemental Burst. Coming into Ito again. Should be able to take it away. Maybe not within this Elemental Burst, but a little bit more. Yep, gonna recast the Elemental Burst. So, unfortunately not able to take it away with just one Elemental Burst, but spending 48 seconds. A little slower than Team Lumi, but still in lead at 123 seconds in total. Okay. Very quickly into a ad break. Bennett. They're gonna pull for Nahida here. Gonna be a 50-50 pull. Not gonna have pity. So let's see how this goes. Gamba. Oh! 50-50? Chi-Chi? Or Nahida? Gonna start with a Russ, actually. Ah! Oh, that's Nahida. I thought that was the Luke. I totally thought that was the Luke. Gonna win the... What is that? R! It's big Booba Nahida. Okay, small Booba Nahida. Okay, anyway, coming back to the pick or ban phase, both teams still have Nahida available. Let's see how this draft. So, Team Aether is gonna start with the first ban of Sing Chills. Yep. Let's see how they draft this phase. Sino being the first ban by Team Lumi here. Okay. Eula is going to be available for Team Aether, being the first pick by Team Aether. Yamiko first pick by Team Lumi. For, of course, a Aggravate team. Kurosawa being picked up to buff Electro. Technari being picked up by Team Aether, potentially denied from Yai Miko, because Technari Yai is a pretty strong common setup. But here, oh, Kali! Another Danjo! So with Nahida, they're gonna have free Danjo on Team Aether. Potentially just to deny the Danjo from Team Lumi, but they already have Nahida, so It's so, interesting. Interesting pick or ban so far. Xiao being first picked for VV here, potentially, or as a main DPS for AoE, let's see. Finally, Traveler being picked up by Team Lumi. Gonna be a Anemo Traveler since they already picked up the Danger Travelers. Rosaria being picked up by Team Aether here to go with the Eula. Ayaka and Fischl being the final ban of this tournament. Kaching. Okay. I mean, that's a lot of Electro. Let's see. Probably a Kaching with Nahida. And Zhongli, Lisa being picked up by Team Aether here. For DDS and defense threat. Ito Goro again by Team Lumi. Wow, they really like Ito Goro. Or maybe just denied it from Team Aether. And then finally Hazel. I mean, I don't think Team Aether is gonna go for any DPS because they are already too dangerous. And finally, Cookie being picked up here by Team Aether. Unfortunately, does not have any Hydro characters at all. So there is no Bloom team available for both teams. Here being the final picked up by Team Lumi. Really interesting pick and ban phase. So let's see. Keep in mind both teams have Nahida available for Electros. Gonna go with Eula, Rosaria, Cookie, and then Kali. A very interesting setup as Danjo does not react with Cryo. So Danjo only here react with Cookie. What is this Kali here for? Am I missing something? Or maybe they just don't think they need all members. Let's start with a setup for Cookie applying Superconductor to every enemy and then to Eula. Maybe they're able to take it away with just one Eula Elemental Burst since they are Whale Eula. Oh! 15 seconds. I guess Kali was just for sightseeing. Sightseeing Kali. Anyway, coming for Team Lumi, they do have the Ito Goro and then Klee with Yaimiko. Might be a sightseeing Yaimiko here as well. Like both teams opted for a sightseeing member. I guess that's what happened when you get pick or ban. Get start with the Goro and then the Klee, Bonbon Zadan, TDS, Ito's. Going to cast Ito Elemental Burst. Not the greatest grouping, but let's see how this goes. good amount of AoE damage coming in for Ito, but not as fast as Eula. Good amount of damage. Oh, 17 seconds. Only a little slower than Eula. Okay, Ito's performing. Alright, finally, both teams are doing Nahida in the second half. It's gonna be a spread team with Tignari and Nahida and Lisa as their Electro options and then Zhongli as a Shredder. Very interesting team setup. Okay, Tignari, Nahida setup. Gonna start with Zhongli elemental skills, Yamiko to not Yamiko, Lisa to apply Electros, and Tignari, boom, boom, boom. Tignari elemental skills. Gonna pause the map to cache energy. The triangle went into invisible, however they do have the Lisa available as an Electro to knock it down. And then Tignari, elemental burst, and then charge attack combos. Tignari here again. Nahida refreshing the elemental skill and burst. And then Lisa refreshing the Electros with her normal attack or elemental skill tap. And then back to Tignari, elemental skill and burst. And then charge attack. 139 seconds. Relatively quick, but finally we do have the Kaching Aggravate team with Nahida here for Team Lumi. Another Will Swift Nahida for both teams.
这期的中烟之战，开局小早神直接开启大招，触发天赋1的效果加精通，9条雷闪之后蓄力射击，打出羽毛。
Udo Sour here for electro damage buff, and then into Kaching for the buff, as well as a Anemo Traveler for VV Shred. Okay, unfortunately not really doing a lot of damage. Okay, the triangle is gonna go invisible here, gonna knock it off using Electros. Like both team opted for the Electro option. Udo's our buff here again, back into the Kaching, doing a bunch of charge attack. Unfortunately, the elemental burst on Nahida has expired, but not gonna able to refresh the elemental burst on Nahida. Gonna cast the elemental burst finally here for all the buff that it is able to provide. Udo's our here again into Kaching. Hopefully able to take it away within this rotation. It looked like it's kind of close. Oh, unfortunately not able to take it away with that rotation. Gonna go into invisible again for the triangle. And then Udo's our elemental burst here for buff. And coming into Kaching. Hopefully able to take it away with this chamber. Unfortunately, kind of slow at 68 seconds. So Team Aether once again win this tournament this time. Well, congratulations to Team Aether for winning the prizes, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And I guess, as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to support and check out the original creators over on Bilibili. Link will be in the description. And thank you YouTube, and bye YouTube Frog.